वर्षा तो बेचारी सो गई होगी। जस्ट गिव मी 2 minutes, I'll go and get my phone and come.
Yes.
Hmm. कि अचानक फोन रिंग करे तो आई हैव द फोन. ओके ओके, let us share the prayers. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Hari Om.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam
Karunalayam
Namami
Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram
Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayana
Keshavam
Sutrabhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto
Punah Punah
Sadashiva Samarambha
Samaram Shankaracharya Madhyamam
Asmadacharya Paryantam
Paryantam
Guru Parampara
Param
Ishvaro Gururatmeti
Gururatmeti
Murtibheda Vibhagini
Murtibhedabhagane
Vyomavadyapta Dehaya
Devaya
Dakshinamurti.
Te Namaha.
ये व्यू समरी ना, ये क्या हो रहा है? ओके. श्री हरिम परमानंद श्री हरिम परमानंदम उपदेष्टारमीश्वरम
Shri Hari Paramanandam Upadeshataramishwaram
व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्.
Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamaham.
Okay. Okay. Notpadya, this is I'm doing number 11. Notpadyate vinagnya. आई कहाँ चले गए? Okay, just 1 minute. हाँ, बड़ा कर दिया तो नंबर्स चले गए. हाँ, ओके, नंबर 10. ओके, नोत्पद्यते विना ज्ञानम
Notpadyate Vinagyanam
विचारेणान्य साधनैः
Vichare Nanya Sadhanaihi
यथा पदार्थभानं हि
Yatha Padarthamanam Hi
प्रकाशेन विना क्वचित्.
Prakashena Vinakachita
कोऽहं कथमिदं जातं
Koham Kathamidam Jatam
को वै कर्तास्य विद्यते.
Ko Vaiskartasya Vidyate
उपादानं किमस्तीह
Upadanam Kimastiha
विचारस्सोऽयमीदृशः.
Vichara Soyamidrishaha.
So the 10th verse was where Shankaracharya is making it very clear that knowledge will arise only by jnanam, only by this inquiry. And he gives a very nice example. Just as objects will not be perceived by anything except light. Only if light is there, you can perceive an object. In the same way, only if you do this inquiry, this knowledge can arise. Very nice. Okay. Now, in page number 132, a very important point Swamiji makes is bondage can go only because it is not real. Okay, let me stop this, yeah. Oh. So I can see you. Huh? Now I can see a little bit of shoulder of Anita. Okay.
आप थोड़ा सामने आओ तब
अरे नहीं, he's resting, eh? So Swamiji says bondage will go only because it is not real. Now in Vedanta, we say real is what is, we define real as that which is always there, that which never goes away. So supposing bondage was real, then there's no point in attempting for moksha because it can't go away because it is real. Okay, real we say as that which is always there. Okay. So I like what he says with reference to moksha. We don't want to accomplish anything. Usually in life we want to accomplish, no? Life is all about accomplishing things, eh? कुछ ना कुछ करना है. If nothing we want to accomplish our antakarna shuddhi. Yeah. So here he says, but with reference to moksha, we don't want to accomplish anything. हमें कुछ ना कुछ, nothing we want to accomplish. Okay. Then yeah. We just want to understand what is. That this isness is moksha iti. Okay. Mm. Then knowledge illuminates just as light illuminates, and we'll come to verse number 12. Okay. Koham kathamidam jatam. Who am I? Koham. Kathamidam jatam. How did this world arise? Kovai karta asya vidyate. Who is the creator of this world? Upadanam kim asti iha. Eh? What is the material cause? Kim asti iha. Okay. Here, what is the material cause? And vichara soyam idrishaha. So this is the manner in which one does the inquiry. You'll ask, who am I? Okay. Then you will ask, what about this world? How did this world come about? Who is the creator? Iti. What is the material cause? Now, here the author tells us exactly what is the nature of vichara. To understand something, you ask a question. If you want to gain the knowledge of the self of Brahman, then how should you proceed to ask the right questions? So first you will say, Koham, who am I? Then Swamiji writes, one thinks that I am a doer, I am happy, I am sad, and so on. In fact, there is no certainty about this I at all because it looks like this I is changing all the time, no? Kabhi I am happy, kabhi I am sad, kabhi I am doer, kabhi I am just bhokta, iti. So there's no certainty. ये I का क्या है, iti. Sometimes I find myself happy, then unhappy, then sad, then elated, then an eater, a walker, a talker, a doer. Every moment I find myself changing. So, who am I really? Am I a karta, a doer? Am I a bhukta, an experiencer? Am I happy? Am I sad? Iti. So, nice. Now, Swamiji will come to what is one's essential nature. So, we must understand that one's swarupa. Swarupa is one's real nature, one's true nature, the nature which never changes, which is ever the same, which is always going to be in the same way. And therefore, it is satyam, it is truth, it is real. So, we must understand that one's swarupa, one's essential nature, can never change. But these states of I am happy, I am unhappy, and so on constantly cancel each other out. When one comes, the other goes away. When the enjoyer comes, the doer goes away. When the speaker comes, the listener goes away. Sometimes you are a son or a daughter, sometimes a husband or a wife, sometimes a mother or a father. Each role displaces the other. and therefore this cannot be my Swarupa. What can be replaced or negated cannot be truth. This is very important, this is the Vedantic perception, that it is looking at what is truth. So truth is only that which cannot be negated. If it can be negated in any way, then it is not truth. Iti. Hmm? What can be replaced or negated cannot be truth. Super important line. Okay, for Vedanta. As we saw in the beginning, that which cannot be negated under any circumstances is called Satya. Now, when the question comes, who am I? What is the reality of myself? I find that I is constantly changing. But is there something changeless in this changing I? Is there a thread that connects everything, like a thread that connects a bead of necklaces? You may not see the thread among the beads, but it must be there. So what Swamiji is saying, that even in the I, there is so much of change. I am happy, sad, you know, loving, fat, old, female, male. All these are the changing things around the I. But is there something which is constant? Iti. You may not see the thread among the beads, but it must be there. All changes have to be supported by the changeless. So, in the changing I, is there an I that does not change? What is the nature of that non negatable, unchanging I? That is the question we should ask. Uncle Ji.
What is the nature of the world and its creator?
Hmm.
Then the next question is Katham idam jatam. Jatam.
Jatam. Jatam. Hmm.
How did this world arise? Our life consists of a subject and the object.
Hmm.
In that, I confront and constantly interact with the world.
Hmm.
Naturally, I should ask, what is the nature of the world?
Hmm.
I am interacting with, because if I do not correctly understand what I am interacting with, my reactions are going to be incorrect.
1 minute. I'll just read it with the commas. Naturally, I should ask, what is the nature of this world I'm interacting with? Because if I do not correctly understand what I'm interacting with, my reactions are going to be incorrect. Uncle, continue.
Whenever I interact with anybody, I always have a notion as to who that person is, how he or she is, and I have a strategy for how I should interact with them.
Mm.
When I answer the phone, for example, I first find out who is on the other end of the line.
Mm.
Only then do I know what to say and how to respond.
Mm.
The way you interact depends upon the judgment of what or whom you are interacting with.
With, yeah. If you think you are interacting with a Satya Vastu, then your interaction will be different. But if you know you're interacting with Mithya, then your interaction will be different. Then he continues, I'm constantly.
I am I am constantly interacting with the world. But what is the nature of this world? Katham idam jatam. Where does it come from? What is the truth of the world? Ko vai karta asya
Asya
vidyate.
Vidyate.
Who is the karta? Creator of the universe.
Mm.
Each of these questions arise because different philosophers have different ideas about aham, the self, about the jagat, world, and about the Ishvara. There are great people who have done this vichara and arrived at different conclusions.
Mm.
Where does this universe, which is Sthavara Jangamam Atmakam,
Mm.
made of mobile and immobile things, sentient and insentient things, come
Mm.
from? Is there a creator of the universe? Some people, such as scientists, do not accept a creator. There are also many philosophers in India who do not accept a creator. Jains, Buddhists, Maskas,
Mimamsakas.
Mimamskas do not accept a creator because they don't see the need for one. They think that there is no need for a creator if you can explain the world without it. So, is there a creator? And if there is a creator, what is the nature of the creator? Therefore, we ask two questions about the universe. Ko vai kartasya vidyate. Who is the creator or maker? And upadanam kim asti. What is the upadan, material cause? Who is the maker and what is the material? This is the manner of vichara. This process of inquiry ultimately results in the knowledge of what is. Vichara of this nature alone is a means of knowledge.
Yeah, this doesn't. Yeah, it's simple, no? इधर कुछ है नहीं. Anita, anything confusing? Nothing confusing, I think, no?
Karma alone cannot produce the universe. Some people say that the universe is created by karma. The Mimamskas say that the universe is a product of karma. You perform karma and the universe is created. Jains also say that the universe is a product of karma. Buddhists say that the universe is a product of your projection, a creation of the mind. If karma can produce the universe, where is the need for Ishvara? In reply, Ramanna Maharishi says,
Kartu agneya, agneya,
Kartu Agya para
prapyate phalam.
prapyate phalam. The phala here means the creation. Kartu Agya is determined.
Agneya, agneya.
Agya is determined by the laws of Ishvara. Karma kim param. Can karma create this universe or anything else? Karma tat jadam. Karma is jada, insentient, and therefore does not have the intelligence to create anything. The creator must be an intelligent entity. An intelligent entity must be a conscious entity, and so on. This is how the vichara proceeds.
And it's very easy for us to see that intelligent entity because we can see the intelligence in the whole universe, no? The whole universe, there is fantastic intelligence. See how a leaf works, how the tree takes, and how only from a mango seed, only a mango tree will come, no other tree will come. Look at how the seasons are there. In anything you look, intelligence is everywhere.
Yes.
Therefore, there has to be an intelligent entity, and intelligence cannot reside in a jada entity. It can only reside in a conscious being. So there must be a conscious entity. This is how vichara proceeds. Now it's my turn. There are different views on the nature of Atma. For example, there are people known as Charvakas, materialists, who have a strong influence on this. People have these ideas now, and these views have been around since Vedic times. In the Vedic times, such a person was called Charvaka because his vak, what he says, sounds very charu, pleasing. This is what the Charvaka says. Yavat jivet sukham jivet rinam krutva ghritam pibet. Asmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha iti. Yavat jivet, as long as you live. Sukham jivet, live happily. Eat, drink and be merry. Beg, borrow and steal to get your enjoyments. Don't worry about tomorrow. Kritam pibet means to drink ghee, which in those days was a kind of enjoyment. Rinam kritva means to borrow if necessary. But then who will repay all these debts? Who cares? Basmi bhutasya dehasya, once this deha body is burnt to ashes, punaragamanam kutaha, where who is there to come back? Therefore, don't worry about what happens afterwards. Once you're gone, your debt goes with you. Let others worry about it. Hmm? These are the Charvakas. Their words sound very nice because they say what people like to hear. There is no Ishvara, there is no truth, there is no dharma, there is no cause, so do whatever you like. What do they say about Atma? They point to the body and say, this is Atma. Because they accept only pratyaksha, direct perception. What you perceive is this body, so it is Atma. They say that the body is made of 4 elements. They don't accept 5 elements, they accept only the tangible ones of air, fire, water, and earth. Whether there is such a thing as space is questionable because you can't see it. In their view, this body is a tangible thing made of 4 elements and there is no other Atma. All these elements are inert and yet the body is sentient. How does sentiency arise from insentient? For this, they give an example. The betel leaf is green and on that you apply lime, which is white. But when you chew the betel leaf, a mouth becomes red. Their logic is that when two things are combined, a third thing that is neither of them can happen. Green doesn't have red in it, neither does white. But when you combine them, red can emerge. Similarly, even though the elements do not have sentiency in them, sentiency happens when they are combined. Scientists also say this, by the way. They say that in the primordial soup, when the right temperature and the pressure, etc., were reached, consciousness was created. This is actually Charvaka view. The difference is that scientists accept inference. The Charvaka says that this body is made of 4 elements, is the self Atma. Medical science also says this
This
body
body
is
is
Atma, the self, and it possesses consciousness. They think that consciousness is a property of the body. The next verse responds to this view. Naham bhutagano dehaha.
Naham bhutgano deha.
Naham chakshaganastata.
Naham chakshaganastatha.
Etad vilakshana kaschita.
Etad vilakshana kaschida.
Vicharassoyamidrishaha.
Vicharasoyamidrishaha.
I'll just read it once. Naham bhutagano deho, naham chakshaganastatha, etad vilakshana kaschit vicharasso yamidrishaha. Naham is na aham. I am not. What? Bhutaganaha dehaha. I am not what? Bhutaganaha deha, the body made of elements. Na aham, naham, I am not cha, akshagana, the group of sense organs. Tatha, similarly, etad vilakshanaha, altogether different from this, kaschid, someone, vicharaha, inquiry, saha, it, I am this, idrishaha. So I'm not the body which is made of the elements. I'm also not the group of sense organs. I'm someone altogether different from this. This is the manner of inquiry. The subject cannot be the object. Now, at last, we are coming to Vedanta. I'm not the body made up of these 4 elements or even 5 elements. Why? Because I am a witness of the body. I am the seer, the subject, the witness. And the subject is always different from the object. The witness is always different from what is witnessed. For example, a pot is an object of my perception. I am the perceiver of the pot. The perceiver is different from what is perceived. So I can confidently say that I am not the pot. Similarly, I am not the table, I am not the chair, I am not the tree, because they are all drishya, perceived. This is very clear. But what about this body? Is it the drishya seen or the drashta, the seer? The body is an object of my perception, my experience. Atma, the self, the true self, is the experiencer. I, the subject. The body is experienced, and the experiencer is necessarily different from what is experienced. The experiencer is always a conscious being, and what is experienced is always inert, meaning not conscious. So these are all the very important rules, initial rules of Atma and Atma Viveka. Yeah. Just as I am not the pot, the same reasoning can be applied to show that I am not the body. The body falls in the same category as the pot, in that it is an object of perception. In technical terms, therefore, the body and the pot are both anatma, meaning they are not I. Very simple. Atmanatma Viveka ki rule वही है कि I am different, Atma is different from Anatma, and Atma is always a conscious being. And this is also a very important rule. Whatever is experienced is Jada. So the whole world is considered Jada, without exception. World comes under, because it's an object. Because it's an object, it is not self-shining. It requires the conscious entity to light it up, and therefore it is Jada. Uncle Ji?
Senses are merely an instrument. Here another Charvaka could
Charvaka
dismiss
is okay.
Charvaka could dismiss the first Charvaka and say that the body cannot be Atma because it is seen. Therefore, the sense organs must be the Atma because they are the seers. By this logic, if you are not the body, you are the sense organs. That is why the author says, Na aham cha aksha
Ganaha tatha.
ganaha. Aksha ganaha tatha. I am also not the Aksh Gana, group of the sense organs. The sense organs are the Karan, instrument of perception. Karna, Karan of instrument of perception, but they are not the perceiver.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am not the sense organs. They are a Karan and I am the Karta, agent. The perceiver is not only different from what is perceived, he is also different from the means of perception.
Yeah.
Therefore, I also cannot be the sense organs.
Very nice. Uncle, you can take the next one also.
I am altogether different from the body. Then who am I? Etad
vilakshana kaschit.
Etad vilakshana kaschit. I am someone altogether different from the sthula suksham deha, gross body and subtle body. Again, the simple rule is the perceiver is different from the perceived. The subject is always a conscious being. The object is perceived and is therefore insentient. This is called vichara. Up to now, I have taken the body to be myself. So I call myself fat or lean or tall or short. But when I
say such things,
I am declining. I am declaring that I am the body.
I am blind or deaf.
If I declare that I am blind or deaf, I am taking the sense organs to be myself. Thus, the various notions that we have must be subjected to the scrutiny of vichara.
Yes. Okay. Chara. Okay. Anita, this is
The
very important. Problem is always centered on I.
I. The problem is not that the body is tall or short. It is that I am tall or short.
Mm.
The problem lies in superimposing the nature of the body upon myself.
Mm.
If calling myself tall and short did not cause problems, there would be no need for vichara. But the moment we join Atma with Anatma,
Mm.
misery comes. Anatma is not miserable by
Itself.
by itself. Misery comes only when I give it the or
Mm.
status of Atma. If the
Mm.
body is recognized for what it is, that is not a problem. But if I raise the body or the sense organs to the level of self, they become a problem because they are seen as Atma. And
Mm.
Atma becomes a problem for me.
Mm.
The body becomes a problem only when I call the body as I. That the body is fat is not the problem. The problem is I am fat.
Hmm.
The problem is always centered upon I.
Mm.
Therefore, we need to separate the I from what the I is not. That is how we separate ourselves from the problems.
Mm.
They are already separate. It is only by ignorance that we lump them together. We
Mm.
lump them together. Thus, the vichara consists of separating I from not I. Lumping them together is the problem, and separating them is the solution. That is how Vedanta proceeds.
Yeah. Yeah. This is very important that all the suffering is because I am
Of
superimposing on myself the
my
problems of the body and mind. Yeah. Vichara is a contribution, not a selfish pursuit. Oink. Someone may
yes,
say that such a pursuit to the exclusion of other activities, being dedicated simply to one's own well being, Atmanaha Shubham Ichchata, is selfishness. We would reply that ultimately one has a responsibility towards oneself also. Even Manusmriti says, Rinani Trini Apakritya Mano Mokshe Niveshayet. A person who is born with a threefold Rinam debt to the sages, to the devtas, and to the ancestors. Sometimes this is also described as a fivefold debt to ancestors, sages, devtas, other human beings, and all other living beings. The point is that Veda sees the human being as one who is receiving favor from the entire universe. Therefore, one's life should reflect a return of favor to them. But the time comes when Rinani Trini Apakritya, you have fulfilled your threefold debts. So now, Mano Mokshe Niveshayet, you should set your mind on moksha. The Shastra therefore recognizes that one also has a duty towards oneself. Having led a life of activity and contribution, which prepared the mind and created a keen desire for knowledge, one has now fulfilled all one's duties and accepted the task of devoting oneself to one's well being. Truly speaking, this cannot be called selfishness because this person is not seeking some individual end. When it involves Atma, the self whose well being one is seeking, is not the individual self. It is the universal self, the self of all. This inquiry is therefore a contribution to the self of all. What this person was doing earlier by way of externally, he is now doing in a much more subtle manner. There are many Mahatmas living in the caves in the Himalayas. They contribute by their very presence, by their very thoughts and attitudes. They are a blessing for the whole world. The less self-centered you become, the more of a blessing you become. So you need not feel guilty if there is a genuine profit pursuit of knowledge. You should know that now you are mature, grown to a point where contribution in the physical sense can be transformed into contribution in the spiritual sense. So let me look at that again. What is Swamiji trying to say here? Vichara is a contribution, not a selfish pursuit. Somebody may say that देखो तुम तो बस पूरा दिन पढ़ाई करते हो, कितने selfish बन गए हो, इति. So he says that's not true. Then he cites many Mahatmas. I'm sleepy, living in the caves in the Himalayas. So he cites them, and who they contribute just by their presence, as a source of blessing. And then he makes a comment: the less selfish you are, the more of a blessing you become. So you don't need to feel guilty, that I'm not contributing. Okay. You should know now that you are mature, grown to a point where contribution in the physical sense can be transformed into contribution in the spiritual sense. Okay, Uncle Ji.
Vichara is primarily negating what I am not. The vichara is Jnana Sadhana, a means of knowledge. It's not like sitting in your armchair and thinking. It is an inquiry performed in a specific manner to understand what the Upanishad reveals and to know the nature of the self, the universe, and Ishvara. It is interesting to note that this vichara is more of a negation of what I am not. The I is self-existing, self-revealing, and is always experienced. I always know who I am in a way. It is not that I have to know some I that is unknown to me, but rather than the known self has to be known correctly. You cannot avoid this I no matter where you go. Just as wherever the pot goes, it cannot avoid clay, because clay is the very self of the pot. Similarly, I can never be without I. I always experience myself. So in some way or the other, I always have the knowledge of myself.
Yeah, very nice. So vichara is mostly, we saw that even in Upadesha Sahasri we saw, it's mostly negating. And then what is left behind is self-existing and self-revealing. Okay. And now your turn.
Yes. A problem exists only when a thing is wrongly known. An unknown thing can never be a problem for me. And a correctly known thing also cannot be a problem for me. Only a wrongly known thing becomes a problem. In the rope snake example, if the rope is completely unknown, as in pitch darkness, there is no problem because there is no projection of snake. And if the rope is correctly known as rope, as in the broad daylight, there is no problem. The problem is only in semi-darkness, when the rope is wrongly known as a snake. When I see a rope wrongly and I say, this is a snake, there are two parts in the sentence. The this is part does not belong to snake. However, it belongs to rope because what exists is a rope.
Rope.
Yes. The thisness and the isness belong to rope, not to snake. So when I say this is a snake, the awareness or experience of rope is already revealed. If the rope were not experienced as this is, the question of projecting a snake would not have been there. In pitch darkness, the rope is not known as this is, and in broad daylight, the rope is known as this is a rope. Only in twilight is the rope known as this is a snake.
Snake.
Yes. Even though the this is part belongs to the rope, that fact is not recognized. What is needed, therefore, is to see the rope as rope and to understand that this is not a snake.
Yeah.
In other words, the false part has to be negated. When you turn on the torchlight, you understand that what is there is a rope and not a snake. Similarly, it is the wrongly known I that has to be known correctly. In the knowledge of I, which I have right now, whatever is false has to be negated. For example, when I say associating,
say I am the body.
I am the.
When I say I am the body.
When I say I am the body, the I am is correct, but body is wrong.
Why is the body wrong?
क्योंकि आई एम साथ में वो आई एम अपनी आत्मा के को उसमें मिला रहे हैं.
हाँ, पर वो बॉडी रॉन्ग क्यों है? गलत
मैं बॉडी को देख रहा हूँ.
Because I am
because body को देख रहा हूँ. I am the seer. I am the one who knows the body. Therefore, I am different from the body. Iti, that must go fat, really click into the other thing. When we say, why is it wrong? Because I am body's object.
I am experiencing. I am watching it.
Okay.
Associating the body with I am is adhyasa, superimposition, and it is caused by ignorance. It is just like being aware of a rope, but not aware of the fact that it is rope.
Yeah.
Adhyasa happens only in the very peculiar situation we described, namely when there is a light enough to experience the rope, but not enough to recognize it as a rope. That is when one superimposes something else there, such as a snake. Similarly, in case of I, there is no awareness of I at all in the deep sleep state. Like the rope in pitch darkness, there is no problem in deep sleep. There is no superimposition and therefore no samsara in deep sleep state. For a wise person who knows the I correctly, it is like broad daylight, and thus there is no problem for this person also. The problem arises only in a fellow for whom there is light enough to experience, but not to recognize. This is called ignorance. Here the ignorance is not total. Ignorance is not total darkness in the sense of absence of knowledge. It is rather ignorance that causes wrong knowledge.
Wrong knowledge. Yeah? Too heavy? Okay. Adhyasa. Superimposition. This is the bread and butter of Vedanta, no? Adhyasa, superimposition, meaning there is ignorance, I is shining there, consciousness is shining, self-evident, self-revealing, it is shining there. But not knowing that it is complete, it is full, it is okay. The consciousness comes and shines in the Antakarana as the I am vritti. But not knowing that this I am, the real I am is consciousness which is full and complete. Not knowing what this I is. The person thinks whatever is very closest is the body because we are experiencing the body. Immediately says, oh, I am the body. Iti. Not being able to discriminate, that body is something I know, and whereas I am sitting here as the one who knows the body. So how can the one who knows the body be the body? Iti. That fact is not seen clearly. For example, I know the wall, right? But it's very clear to me that I, who knows the wall, am different from the wall. But because the
Yes.
body is so intimately experienced, this mistake is made, and one says, I am the body, iti, which is an object, whereas I am the subject. Iti. So similarly, the conditions of the mind, and that is what is called as adhyasa, where your super is imposing the body as well as its qualities, onto Atma. And Atma's sentiency is being superimposed on the body. Iti. So it's a mutual this thing. Then he says, yeah, okay, all this is in a very peculiar condition, light enough to experience the rope, but not. So here the light enough to experience the rope, similarly for us is, we experience I am, but we don't know what that I am is. Not knowing what that I am is, this superimposition naturally takes place. We cannot blame ourselves for it. Yeah, it just naturally takes place. And I think with that we can, 17, would you like to continue? We can continue.
Yes, please.
Okay. The twofold power of ignorance. Vedanta says that ignorance has a twofold power: avarana, veiling, and vikshepa, projection. The true nature of a thing is veiled from me, and something false is projected there. In the rope snake example, the true nature of the rope is veiled from me, and what is not, namely the snake, is projected. This can happen when there is samanya jnana, general or common knowledge, but not vishesha jnana, particular knowledge. For example, if I am holding a flower in my hand, you say this is a flower. If there is a pot in my hand, you will say this is a pot. Or if it is a chain, you will say this is a chain. In all these perceptions, the this is part is common and applies to all of the objects: flower, clock, pot. Okay? Applies to all the objects. Whereas flower, clock, pot apply only to particular objects. The idea of this is samanya, meaning general, common to all the objects perceptible to me. Whereas flower, clock, or pot is vishesha, it is particular. So every knowledge has this samanya and vishesha aspect. The projection or error can take place only in the peculiar situation where the samanya knowledge is there, but the particular knowledge, the vishesha jnanam, is not there. When I am fast asleep, I do not know myself in general or in particular. I am not aware of myself at all. I am is not known, and in fact nothing is known. There is no samanya jnana or vishesha jnana, and therefore there is no problem. The wise person, on the other hand, knows that I am Brahman. So he knows I am, and he knows Brahman also. He has both samanya jnana and vishesha jnana. Atma is known in general and in particular, so there is also no problem for the wise man. Both these persons are okay. The one who doesn't have samanya jnanam or vishesha jnanam, as well as the one who has got samanya jnanam and vishesha jnanam, both these people are okay. For everybody in between, however, the I am is always known, which is a problem because the ignorance of I veils the particular aspect of I, which is Brahman. So there is this I am, okay, that is general. All of us have that I am. But we don't know something very important about this I am, and that it is Brahman. That means the Vishesha Jnanam about I am, I don't know. Because I don't know, because of that ignorance of the Vishesha Jnana, because of the ignorance of this particular knowledge that I am actually Brahman, iti, this superimposition is taking place. The Vishesha aspect, namely the fact that I am one, I'm non-dual, I'm the self of all, I'm Brahman, I'm Purna, I'm limitless, I'm Ananda, is veiled by ignorance. Ignorance cannot veil I am, but it does veil the particular aspect, and that is where all the superimposition takes place. I am a man, I'm a woman, I'm tall, I'm short, I'm happy, I'm unhappy. All these are superimpositions. You can see I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm tall, I'm short. These are all qualities of the body, right?
Yes.
I'm happy, I'm unhappy, are qualities of the mind. So the qualities of the body, the qualities of the mind, they are superimposed upon Atma because of not knowing that I am Brahman. Iti. Yeah. And then we will see the reason for superimposition next time.
Thank you, Gurumaji.
Actually, yeah, this Upadesha Sastri is going along with this, no? Very nice. Okay. Uncle Ji, batao.
I am is self-evident, but the
विशेष ज्ञानम
विशेष ज्ञानम is not.
नॉट
उसके ऊपर ignorance है, आवरण है.
हाँ आवरण है. तो इसीलिए वी डू दिस श्रवणम, वो आवरणम को निकालने के लिए, ताकि
वो
हमें
निकलता
दिख
नहीं
जाए.
है.
निकला है, हैबिचुअल एरर है, वो दूसरी बात है.
बड़ा मुश्किल है कहना आई एम ब्राह्मण.
नहीं कहना है, किसी को बोलो मत, बोलो बोलेंगे ये पागल है,
मारेगा डंडा से.
बोलेंगे पागल है.
तू ब्राह्मण है तो मेरा ये काम कर, मेरा वो काम.
So you just you understand that
Yes.
actually it's very nice. Now I'm very tempted to show you again. चलो करेंगे हम फिर से ड्राइंग. ओके, ये है आई एम. ये हुआ हमारा जनरल नॉलेज, और हमें पता नहीं है आई एम ब्रह्मन. हे भगवान, ब्रह्मन, ये हमें नहीं पता है. ओके, तो इसलिए इसको कैंसिल कर देंगे. इसके ऊपर आवरण बैठा है. दिस इज द आवरण, दिखता नहीं है. तो इसलिए क्या आया इंस्टेड ऑफ दिस, क्या आया इधर, आया बॉडी. बॉडी एंड इट्स क्वालिटीज प्लस इट्स क्वालिटीज. आई एम राइटिंग विथ माई माउस, माई गॉड. ठीक है, बॉडी एंड इट्स क्वालिटीज. So I will say I am body and its qualities. Then I'll say I am mind. Luckily, I don't say I'm the word. Mind and its qualities. And its Q. Then I will say I am. Achoo, ego is also part of the mind only. So it is okay. I am ego. Etc. etc. Then I am roles. This is interaction with the world. इतने सारे सुपर इम्पोजिशन होते हैं. और ये what there is an essential difference between this I and this two, and which is what uncle pointed out first, that this I is subject. No? The one who knows, the seer, the witness, the one who knows. Whereas all these, whatever we put over here, is actually object. Clear error. Where the subject is saying, I am the object. Clear error. Because subject is saying, I am object. Iti. Yeah? Remember I asked auntie, why is it wrong? And uncle immediately said, because I am the seer.
Yes.
And all these are objects. That's clear error, right? Staring at our face. So Shastra is teaching us to think properly. Saying, Are suno bhai sadho. I like that. Kabir mein na, suno bhai sadho.
Yes.
Suno bhai sadho. You are not an object. You are the one who knows all the objects. You are a conscious being. The object is all jada. You are the only conscious being in this world. And now supposing I remove all this, okay? Now हम लोग ने negation कर दिया. मेरा eraser कहाँ गया? हाँ, हमने negation कर दिया. मैंने सब कुछ निकाला. This is the most interesting thing to do. सुबह में बैठ के ये करो.
ये ईगो नहीं निकलती.
नहीं नहीं, वेट, ईगो का पार्ट भी बहुत सुंदर है, वो बाद में करेंगे. हैं?
हाँ जी.
हमने ये सब निकाला. अभी only this is left. Now when this is left, you will say, what is this? ये क्या है? हम बोलेंगे, इसमें हम we cannot deny that I am conscious. इसको तो डिनाई नहीं कर सकते कि मैं तो कॉन्शियस एंटिटी हूं. ठीक है? योर कॉन्शियसनेस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटेड. योर एग्जिस्टेंस, कॉन्शियस एग्जिस्टेंस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटेड. सो आई एम कॉन्शियसनेस. In this I am consciousness, you don't add anything to it. Then what boundary does it have? Where is the boundary? Where is the limit? There is no limit. It's only when you superimpose that boundary comes. Limit comes. ये सुपरइम्पोजिशन को आपने वो नेगेट कर दिया. जो भी आपने लगाया था, whatever was object, you negated the whole thing. You are left with I am. Supposing as uncle says that still there is a sense of individuality. Okay, let's write that. Oops, ये भगवान ये क्या आ गया? इसको ट्राई करते हैं. हाँ, okay, I am and we have sense of individuality. This is very interesting. Individuality. That is the ego. Meaning it makes you feel that you're separate from everything else. I'm an individual. Okay. Now this sense of individuality, is it known or not known?
Known.
Okay. Is it subject or object?
Object.
Okay, be very clear about this. This is object. This is all you need. That much understanding only you need. If it is object, right? Then why are you superimposing it on consciousness? Not required. It doesn't mean the individuality you are going to remove it physically. No. But in your understanding, at least you understand. Because that sense, it is, you know, that we will have some kind of identification with the body is natural. It's going to be there, iti. But to take that identification to be real, that this is who I am, that is the error. So this sense of individuality, because some minor identification with body will be there, right? That sense of individuality, understand it to be object. Whatever it is there, it is object. If it is object in your mind, you dismiss it as object only. This is not I, not the true I. Okay? Because the ego has also got that, two amsha to it. The consciousness amsha to it, the ego has also got this two amsha to it. Okay? One is the consciousness, I'm just calling it C because it's difficult to write.
Yeah.
And the other is the this. This means whatever you have added to it. Eh? This amsha. That has to be negated from the ego itself. Then you're left only with this. And then negation is what? Is it a real, you're going to remove it physically or you're going, no. Just in your understanding. Oh my God, this is also an object. And that you can do, when you get up in the morning. I do it when I get up in the morning. सुबह सुबह उठती हूँ ना, उस टाइम पे मेरे लिए बहुत इजी है कि मैं किसी के साथ चिपका हुआ नहीं हूँ. So it's very easy for me to very quickly see that okay, ये तो है, this is body, this is this is that, and then I just come to I'm here. Just plain existence is right here. Then I can ask myself, what is the boundary of this? Whatever I posit as the boundary, it is an object. Because I know that boundary. For example, you will say, I have my sense of individuality. Yes, okay, your sense of individuality. Do you know it or not? I know it. So that posits a boundary for you. But if it posits a boundary, then the boundary is an object. And therefore, that boundary is not you. Even if it's sense of individuality, that is to be understood. No, this is not me. This is not the true I. Okay, this is tough, but this is how it is. No? Oh, that's Vedanta. Huh? हम लोग को डेसिमेट कर देता है. Nothing left. Only Ishvara is left. Nothing else is left here. Huh? You are a divine being finally. Eh? If I want to put it in poetic language. Eh? Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Shobharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaः Om Sarvesham Swastirbhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaः Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri